President Biden,
I remember him.
His social media team put out this amazing tweet. Women in sports continue to push new boundaries and inspire us all. But right now we're seeing that even if you're the best, women are not paid their fair share. It's time that we give our daughters the same opportunities as our sons and ensure women are paid what they deserve. So, I don't even know how many. So there's 16 kinds of awesome. How many kinds of crap are there?
That's a much larger category. I would have to. I'll put together a spreadsheet and we'll see. Yeah.
I don't know how many kinds of crap this is, but in his usual awesome way, Clifton Duncan responded perfectly. Aside from the standard economic illiteracy underpinning this cynical tweet, by now everyone knows Democrats don't give a single shit about women's sports.
Beautiful.
Perfect, right? So let me just say, like, we have other places to go in the podcast here, but women are not paid their fair share. We're talking about sports, right? We're not talking about you got hired by Google to be a software engineer, and a careful look into your pay shows that, actually at Google, women engineers are paid a little bit more than men, according to the research that I found a couple of years ago. I don't know if that's still true, but if there's any inequity in pay between the sexes at Google with regard to software engineers, it favors the women, not the men. Not the story we're told. But this is not even that, right? Like, even if the stories were told about the problems with unequal pay and women earning, 70 cents, 86 cents, whatever it is on the dollar that men earn, which there's lots of people who've already debunked that. Start with Christina Hoff Sommers and go from there. This is sports. Professional sports is paid for by the audience who wants to watch professional sports. If you, as someone who's interested in investing in sports, is interested in creating a marketing campaign to increase interest in watching women's sports, go for it, I guess. But it's going to be the audience deciding who they want to watch. It's not about, I can see that the NBA players are being paid this much and the WNBA players are not being paid as much, and therefore there's an unfairness in the system. Sorry, no. So Clifton Duncan, as I said, is right. The standard economic illiteracy underpinning this cynical tweet, that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, Clifton Duncan, of course, slam dunks the question. And of course, it will make no difference because of the imposter in chief.
Yeah, because the imposter in chief, as of the screenshot that I took of this, had 21,000 likes to his incompetent, buffoonish tweet, which most of the responses don't even point out the absurdity of claiming that professional female athletes aren't paid enough because they're not paid the same as professional male athletes who garner much more giant audiences and therefore bring in more money. Most of the responses are apropos what we've just been talking about, which is that actually you frankly don't give a flying about women athletes, given that you're letting men cosplay as women athletes and compete against them.
Yeah, and I don't even know how to phrase this, but there's something with all of the crap that we watched, the terrible science that we watched during the COVID crisis.
Yeah.
So much of it was a shell game in which people who were sick from one thing were pushed into a category that made them look like they were sick from something else in order to draw the conclusion that this thing worked and that thing didn't. And it's scientific shell game, right?
Yeah.
In order to test these things, you have to build categories. If you were going to game the system, this is an obvious place to do it, is to shove people into categories they don't belong in, right? Yeah. You got hit by a bus, but we're going to say you died of COVID. Right? So the idea that actually this game has gotten so ridiculous that we are going to shove actual people into categories they don't belong into, right? Congratulations, you're a woman, now swim, right? That is that's like physical sophistry. Right? A man putting on a women's bathing suit and competing against women and reaching a draw with Riley Gaines in Leah Thomas's case, and then getting the trophy because of her struggle. Like
Leah's.
Yeah.
Which one?
I was being generous. Leah. Leah's perceived struggle is going to be treated as a tiebreaker rather than treating her height as a tiebreaker in favor of Riley Gaines, right? It's like, this is physical sophistry.
No, it is. And you're absolutely right. We've seen picture after picture, or at least I have, unfortunately, of these podiums, right? In swimming, in biking, those are the two in running and in sprinting foot races, where you've got a dude or sometimes two on the podium next to a woman. The woman is never on top, right? The woman is never in the gold position when a guy has competed against her. And usually they're still, on the podium, you're usually still in the gear that you competed in. And so with biking, it's a little bit less clear because they may be wearing chamois and everything, but they got a sort of a loose jersey on. In swimming and in running, often it's just, you're really 100% clear to anyone with eyes and a brain. And most of the people weighing in on this debate or sitting on the fence actually do have eyes and a brain, can look at these people and say which one's a man and which one's a woman. And no amount of testosterone suppression or estrogen supplementation is going to change that, right? The activational effects of testosterone do not change your pelvis shape. And your pelvis shape affects how you run and how you move and how fast you can do so. And no man is ever going to bear a child, no matter how much Loretta might wish that was different from Monty Python.
Yeah. Lots of men can't bear children. All right. That was a pun, but not a very good one.
How was it a pun?
Because, I can't bear to listen to another minute of this child going on and on about whatever. Yeah, wasn't a great pun. But, maybe with a little smithing.
All right.
All right. Shall we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.